Hi, my name is Molly, and I'm going to be responding to Tyler's question regarding the NATO treaty and basically how simple its terms are and why there aren't more treaties like it. I didn't know all that much about NATO after reading his question, so I looked into it a little more. And basically, NATO is a very simple treaty with simple terms of agreement. It basically states that, countries who've accepted NATO are committed to peaceful resolution of disputes, but if the democratic efforts fail, it has the military capacity needed to undertake crisis management operations. I think basically NATO is like a crisis prevention agreement, but it also has very democratic views. So I think that's why a lot of countries refrain from agreeing because not a lot of countries are under, a lot of like democratic rule. And so I think that, like governments are constantly changing and improving. And mostly, a lot of governments around the world are progressing towards democratic values, which is an awesome thing. But it also takes time, and NATO is a huge step towards peaceful resolution, but like internationally. But so many countries are still at war against their own government, so they can't agree to NATO's terms or even design new treaties while they're under like oppressive rule. And I think that, you know, with NATO and who's like signed on to that as countries, like obviously we're overseas and we're helping those countries try to like change, the terms of their own governments and stuff. And I think that it's going to take time for all of that to happen before we can get more countries signed on to NATO. But I think that there's not really a need for more treaties like NATO because NATO is such like it's like an awesome treaty, and it's basically like saying world peace and like peaceful resolution to conflicts, and that's basically what all countries want anyway. But it's just going to take time to get all countries on board with that. And so I think if you add more, if our government keeps trying to make more treaties to get different countries to sign on and like pair with other countries and stuff, I think it would just get way too confusing. There'd be too many loopholes, and that would start more wars just based off of who signed on to which treaties. So I think that at this point, our country just, and other countries, we just need to be trying to promote like that peaceful resolution.